Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We're here at the J&K Security Solutions Model Smart Home, and we're going to be talking home security with those folks later on in the show.
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely, and we are joined now by Sensei Chris Martingilio
Hello.
from Martingilio Martial Arts. Welcome back.
Thank you.
We always enjoy talking with you, Chris, because you are a wealth, a compendium of knowledge.
Wow.
Oh, big words today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the presence of a lot of knowledge, so I have to make sure that my chops are in shape here. So I understand that you do some teaching at the high school. It's not just in your dojo. You actually go out to the high schools. And tell us about that.
I'm deep in the season right now where I go into the schools. I take over. I've done some gym classes. I've done some life skills classes.
Okay.
But we get offers to come in and teach not only self-defense, but the skills that these kids need to leave their house and go to college without having the problems that they would normally have.
Okay.
You know, because they're a little naive in school. They think that the world's a really safe place in Stoughton and Monona Grove, but then they're going to school in New York and Chicago, and we have to teach them a little bit about how to deal with that.
Outside of the bubble.
Yes, outside of the bubble.
No kidding. Are you busier now because it's a winter season or just because they're in school?
No, just because they're in school. I do it each semester. I've been doing it actually for a long time. I think I've actually stepped foot in about every school district in Dane County right now, but Stoughton and Monona Grove are really big for me. They book me out for long sessions. It's a great class. We get 100% participation in those classes where they struggle with that in some of the other units. And so it's a popular class for people.
Is it during the PE sessions or instead of?
Instead of.
Okay.
And so I literally take over. The teacher just, he sits in the back and we run the program just like our rescripted program, which we talked about before on the show. Mm-hmm. But our rescripted class is a very specific one-day, short program. This I stretch out for 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it once a week, several days a week?
Several days a week.
Wow.
Some classes I'm doing twice a week, some I'm doing 3 times a week.
Wow.
So you mentioned self-defense, but yet life skills.
Skills.
Can you give some examples?
Yeah. How many kids do we see doing this? They got their earbuds in.
How many adults do we see?
Right. And so we talk about awareness. That's a big one.
Yeah.
We talk about sexual assault. We talk about, being aware of our surroundings. Most of our self-defense is based on somebody touching us to start with, because this is where it begins. It's not a violent thing, and I don't teach violent response in those units.
Right.
It's more that awareness that once that person's making me uncomfortable, then I need to move and adjust and, where to sit in a restaurant so that you can see the door and be aware of people coming in or those kind of things.
Can I bring up the fact that being a gal, I feel like I've always been taught to be aware of my surroundings. Do you feel like you see a difference between the boys and the girls? And
I see a big difference just in the generations. I've been teaching long enough that, we used to have Walkmans on, right? I'm that old. And, you'd bop around, but you didn't pay attention to your Walkman.
But not if you were a woman. I would never walk with those.
See, now I see these kids, they're so unaware. They're like this constantly. They're just not paying attention
Even the
anymore.
girls.
Even the girls.
Wow.
And in fact, it's to the point, I swear to God, these kids are going to end up with a crook in their neck. And so this is the first thing, is put your phone away. Stand up and be aware of the people around you.
Right.
And then maybe I can avoid the situation.
Right.
And so it's more than just that piece of information that, well, here's what you do if the guy touches you. How about let's not even get there?
Right, yeah. How to stay safe.
How to stay safe,
And then you talk about de-escalation a lot, too, in
I
some
do.
classes, too.
Because sometimes that stuff happens, too. How do you deal with a problem that's happening in front of you? It's not, I'm not going to ignore it and walk away.
Right.
So we do have to deal with a third-party intervention there, too.
So you're starting with prevention altogether, then de-escalation, and then you move on to
We have to do the skills, And we condition the kind of responses that you would need to program so that you're not thinking about it. So we have to do the repetitive motions over and over and over again. They have a blast. It's a great unit, but by the end, I can grab any of those kids and bam, they move and their response is fast and wonderful.
I was going to ask, you talked about how you get 100% participation.
I get 100% participation.
Whereas the teachers struggle to get, maybe even half that at times.
Right.
How do the kids respond to you and to the things that you're teaching?
They respond really well, because I've been teaching, I identify with the kids real well. I come in with my tattoos, I look a little different. And they say, Karate Guy, they're expecting somebody to come in a karate suit.
Right.
and I don't. I've seen a lot of schools come in there to sell programs. That's
Right.
part of their way to
Yeah.
get new students.
Right.
I do not do that at all. I am there for the kids and the kids only. I do not need extra business at my dojo from them, and so I focus on the kids. And because they see that it's genuine, they respond well to me.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I bet that shows through right
It
away.
does. It is honestly a genuine concern for these kids' safety. My kids have gone to school. I've got one more left in high school. I want my kids to be safe.
Absolutely.
And I'd like all these kids to be safe.
If schools want to add this, if they haven't been in touch with you, how do they get in touch with you to do this?
Really, the best way is to get onto my website, send me an email. But, I've had people call me directly at the school. I've had people come into the school. I've had teachers come in and be like, hey, did you do this? And, but it's been word of mouth, really, where this has started. I got suggested by a police officer to go to Stoughton, and now I've been doing this for 7 years, I think, in that school district.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Chris
you.
Martingilio from Martingilio Martial Arts. We always enjoy talking with you.
Thanks.
You have a great day. And we'll be right back with more Wisconsin Family after this.
Thank you.